Hello and welcome to the first update episode of 2020. Today we're going to be taking a look inside the shed and we're going to look at the seeds that we planted late last year inside the grow tent and see how they're doing. We're also going to be choosing the seeds that I'm going to grow for the rest of 2020 inside the greenhouse as well as the polytunnel. But first of all, let's get inside the shed and see what's going on in there. Let's get inside the grow tent and see what's going on. Let me just get the light on in here. There we go. So there's a couple little surprises here. Firstly is the peri-peri from Mozambique, the ones that I pulled out of the sauce that I had when I was out there, the seeds. They have actually sprouted, so that's unbelievable. I had one or two quite early on coming up and I was really happy with that, but if you notice here, there's now, what's that, six? There's six that have come up and I think there's one or two more here. So that was quite a surprise for me. The other surprise is my crosses aren't coming up. Now I can see a couple starting out. I don't know what is going on here, but what I have done is I ended up removing these rock wool from rows 4 to 10. I removed them and I put fresh ones in, and what I've done is I've just put seeds pretty much on top of them instead of embedded right down deep. I really don't know what's going on. I will keep an eye on it and maybe try and figure it out. But yeah, I was quite surprised these ones from Mozambique are doing quite nicely. I'm not giving up on my crosses just yet. I have plenty other seeds as well, so I've got probably another 40 seeds for this cross. So I will get them to germinate, at least a few of them. I only need 2 or 3 to be honest at this point. This one here is starting to show, so maybe that'll come up. Yeah, it's quite weird. I really did not expect this. The other thing to note here is this grow light is doing fantastically. This is the Spider Farmer SF1000, and yeah, look at the growth. You can see this here is just looking fantastic. The leaves coming up in between the nodes already. There's multiple leaves coming through here. It's got a lovely deep green, and yeah, really can't complain. I am still just using the Vaxa range in terms of the nutrients, this stuff over here, and I'll keep using that until we get to a point that we start showing some flowers, and then I'll switch over to a different nutrient. But at the moment it's doing well. I am keeping this at quite a decent temperature, so we have a heat mat underneath there which is probably helping to bring it up quite a lot, but the main thing that's bringing up the heat is down there. It's that little oil heater that I put in, and I'm controlling that with the temperature sensor over there. I have that set now to 28.5 and it keeps this grow tent nice and cozy. There's a sensor that's sitting up there which is feeding information back to my automation system, and that's giving me a good idea of what's happening inside here. Let's close this up again, let the plants keep on doing their growing, and let's go inside and have a look at what other seeds we're going to be growing in 2020. The first thing I'm going to need to do is go through all of these seeds that Yuka Fatali has sent to me. Thank you so much, Yuka. Yet again, he's come through with an abundance of goodies. Let me quickly go through these, do a first pass, and then we'll get back to actually showing you what I'm going to be growing this year. This here is obviously part of the longer episode of the seed choosing video, and you'll know that if you've clicked on this anyway. And basically it's just adding on this part where I'm going about actually sifting through all these seeds and figuring out which ones I'm going to grow. So that's the only extra bit here. You guys asked for it last year, said you want to see how I actually go about choosing these things. So here we go. And I'll try and point out as much as I can. I've already started a bit choosing through my seeds. So basically here there's 16 different seed types that I've added. And these are ones that I know I'm going to grow. There's no real choice about it. I purposefully have gone out and either saved seeds. So here we have my staples. Of course, we have the peri-peri, which is over there. And we have some cayenne, which I isolated from my plants last year, and pepper dew. So those 3 so far. And those are just ones I like to grow every year. Of course, I'm always going to grow peri peri and cayenne because I love my Louisiana buffalo style hot sauce, Blazing Buffalo. Make sure you go and buy some if you haven't yet. I've still got some stock. And obviously there's some others that I've gone out and purposely bought or I've been given. So let me just show you this one first. 7-pot Primo, definitely going to be growing those this year. I don't know why I didn't do it last year, but the 7-pot Primo, I bought those from pepperseeds.eu, and yeah, they're such a lovely pepper. If you want a super hot pepper, you can't go wrong with these. It's a real classic. If you like the Carolina Reaper, you will absolutely love these. Now, these here, I got a message the one day from Welsh Chili. I think it was on Instagram, maybe, or in one of my videos, I'm not sure. But he offered to send me out some of his Dragon's Breath. These are notoriously hot. There's actually been some newspaper articles out there about it. So those I'm quite keen to grow. I've never grown them before. They're meant to be steaming hot. And these here he sent across, these aren't his. These are from the little chilliChump.com. And it's claimed to be the Pepper X, or at least a derivative of the Pepper X. I'm not sure, but very interested to grow it. I'm sure it's going to be hot regardless of what it actually turns out to be. So it'll be interesting when it comes to doing my checking out chilies with ChilliChump with this one. So those are the 3 super hots that I have at the moment. What else have I got? I've got one extra hot in here. Well, just a normal hot, sorry, not extra hot. This is my MOA yellow Scotch bonnet isolated. So these are what I isolated last year. Rarities, I'm giving this a go again this year. The Capsicum Galapagos, yeah. I couldn't get this to germinate last year, so I definitely want to give it a go again. I'm a bit stubborn like that. It was very annoying that I couldn't get it to germinate. So we're going to try that again this year. It's an extremely rare pepper from the Galapagos Islands, so I'm very keen to grow those. What else we got here? Yeah, so that's pretty much where we are at the moment. Of course, these have gone in to the list as well. This is from my seed kit. Hopefully you guys have bought yours already, but I've got a couple extras actually, so I might just do a competition in this video. We'll see a bit later on when I finish up. But obviously one of these kits are for me, and the other 2 I think I'm going to give them away. And yeah, back to choosing what I'm going to be growing. So where I was at this point is just looking through my isolated chilies. I have my Antep Aki Dolma. Unfortunately, these were not isolated, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I did ask Vitali if he could include some Antep Aki Dolma in these here. So we'll see. If I have some in here, then I'll use those instead of these because, like I said, not isolated. I have 7-pot habaneros. These are, well, that's from 2018. These are 2017. I didn't grow them last year, I don't believe. And I do want to try and grow them again this year. So 7-pot habanero. I'll first have a look and see if there are any in here. And if there aren't, then I'll grow probably the 2018, obviously, because they are a bit newer. I have a few in there. And then I have some seeds still from the Poblano, Dale Totten. These are the world record holders for 2018, I think it was. So the seeds from his plant that I then grew on and kept seeds for myself. And these are isolated. So I've got quite a few of those. And what else we got in here? Yeah, so that's it. So 7-pot habaneros, we need to see if we can find any in here. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I do have some seeds that were sent to me by a viewer that seem quite interesting. Actually, 2 of them. So I got long Tabasco crossed with cayenne, and these here. Let me just make sure there's no no identifying information. And these penis peppers, these are also called pita peppers. They meant to come out in the shape of a penis. So hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize me because I said that word. I don't want to say it again. But these are going to go in as well. I do want to try the penis peppers. I'll do one of those plants. So again, let's walk through this a little bit. Let me just zoom that in and you can actually see what I'm getting up to on this spreadsheet. So There we go. It's going to help you a little bit, but not a lot. So in this here, basically, I'm putting down what pepper I'm going to be growing. Over here is just a category, just from a list that I've created over here, which the list is fillers, hot peppers for looks, the rarities, my staples, super hots, sweet peppers for the taste, and my ChilliChump seed kit. So this is just a drop down that allows you to choose that. And that allows me then to also figure out on the right here, this is just a consolidation of this, or just it sums up how many of each of these categories I'm growing or want to grow. So I'm setting how many plants over here, and over here is just the heat level. So I actually probably should look into doing a consolidation of the heat levels as well to see the different various heats. But I think this sort of covers it anyway. This here, like at the moment, I've got 8 plants of my super hots. I've got 17 plants of my staples, and etc, etc. So let me continue going through this. Let's have a look through and I'll show you exactly how I'm doing this. Let me first add these, long Tabasco and cayenne. That's quite an interesting one. Tabasco is obviously a very tasty pepper, and mixing that with cayenne would be interesting to see how that comes out. I don't know whether this is isolated or not, but we will give it a go anyway. I'll just grow one of those plants. Doesn't mean I'm going to sow only one seed. I will sow multiple seeds for this, but obviously end up with the strongest of the seeds that I start with, and that will be what I actually grow on. So long Tabasco cross cayenne, and I'm guessing, what is this? This is going to be, I would say, taste, and we'll give that a rating. Let's make it the same as the other cayenne that we have, which is 3 out of 10. And this is just according to my scale. And we're going to grow one of those. So a total of 40 plants at the moment with 15 different varieties. Let's do the next one. So that one's going to go into taste. And if I just zoom out again. Basically these containers here are actually the same ones I used last year, so recycling, there you go. And long Tabasco, that's going to go in there. That's just labeled up for taste. And these penis peppers, oh, there we go, said it again. These are more, I guess, for looks. Yeah, I mean, it's perfect for that category actually. So looks, and I don't know the heat of this. We can quickly look that up. So it is useful having a laptop. You can look up these peppers, get a bit of a feel for what they are. So penis pepper. Well, there you can see it's called a pita pepper. And it says 10,000 to 23,000 Scoville, which is, that's around about, let's say it's a little bit more than, well, a little bit less than a cayenne, but yeah, let's make it a 2. And we're going to grow one of those plants. So it's going to go into looks. Okay, are we done with, I think we're done with those ones now, is obviously the difficult one. So when I get these seeds, I get them in a a big old envelope, just a bunch of seeds and a bunch of goodies, which is very cool. But yeah, a lot of these I've never heard of. You know, there's quite a few new ones to me. Obviously, there's some that I know about already. Yucca is very keen on his Bacchutums, so there's quite a few of those in here. He loves the flavor of those, and I'll be honest, they are really tasty. But they're not your traditional sort of chili heat or chili flavors, but they are very interesting. There's a sort of an intense sweetness to them, and then a very sharp heat. Actually, I forgot, so I need to do actually these two here, which is the datil and the serrano. I didn't add those in yet, so let me do the serrano first. I was busy talking about that with you earlier. That's why I had it up on my search. So the serrano is 10 to 23,000 Scoville. I really wasn't sure that they would be that, I don't know, mild. I thought serrano were meant to be a lot hotter. I guess for your average person who doesn't grow super hots or doesn't eat a lot of habaneros, that sort of thing, this probably is quite hot because it's a bit hotter than a jalapeno. It's about 3-4 times as hot. So yeah, I'm interested to try it out. Everybody raves about the flavor of them, so we'll give that a go. I wouldn't rate that as a hot. I'd say flavor. That seems to be where it's at. So taste, that'll be the category. And heat, I'd say a 3, same as a cayenne. And Serrano, let's do 2 for now. I might change that down to 1 later. We'll see how we get on with the number of plants we have. So that's going to go into taste. Yeah, I hope this isn't too boring for you guys that are watching this longer episode, but you asked for it. At least you have the choice of going to the shorter one if you want. Datel. This is, I don't know, why did I choose this? Somebody in one of my comments somebody in one of my videos in the comments said that this is a very good pepper to grow. So says it's a very hot pepper. Oh, okay, I remember this. So the person that was telling me about it said it's a very popular pepper in the US, well, Florida, but about 100,000 to 300,000 Scovilles. I'd say that's around about where a habanero or Scotch bonnet is, maybe a little bit less than that. But apparently they're made to taste really good, make good sauces, so I'll give it that a go as well. So that'll go into the hot section. Not super hots, but just hot. What is that? Let's make it the same as the Scotch bonnet, which I said was a 7. And we're going to do, how many are we going to do there? I'll put 2 for now as well. We'll see where that goes. So yeah, that is hot. So where are my hots? There we go. And I think that is it for the ones I'm definitely going to grow. Now it's the hard part, which is going through all of these and seeing what I'm going to grow. So let's have a look through. Let's go through it. So I just went to get a couple more containers just to put the ones I'm not going to grow in one of them, and then the ones I need to consider maybe in the other one. Just helps me keep things organized. So firstly, I'm going to probably look at these packs that Yucca has sent me. So he's got quite a few here. If you do go buy seeds from Yucca, he puts together packs to make it a bit easier for you to choose. Sometimes it can be hard when you have so many varieties. So have a look at the packs. You might get lucky there and have something interesting. So like this here, the Bekele pack. I'm not sure what Bekele means. I hope it's not a swear word in another language, but anyway, this is the Bekele pack, and it's got a lot of these hots. So Moruga Chocolate, Moruga Scorpion, Marugla, and Nagamoric. I think I will be pulling some seeds out of there, so I'm going to put that aside in the maybe for now. Capsicum Galapagos. So he's already given me a pack of these. I'll put that inside the rarities. I might do a couple seeds of each. Jalapeno pack. The one thing I don't have, and I think I had the same problem last year, is I don't have any plain jalapenos, and I really do need to get some because I love stuffed jalapenos wrapped in bacon. It's just delicious on the barbecue or the braai. Capsicum Exile. This is a little different. So these are wild peppers. So yeah, I think I would probably want to grow them, so let's put that over there for now. IE Crystal, Bird's Eye Baby, Lemon Drop, and Moruga Chocolate. So chosen ones. These are just a variety. There's some mediums, some hots, and some extra hots. The Moruga Chocolate obviously is a very hot pepper. So let me just put that aside. I might pick one from there. This is so difficult. Hainan Yellow Lantern, I need those definitely. So I'm actually going to take that out right now. Those are some very cool peppers. Okay, Hainan Yellow Lantern. These are delicious. I made some great hot sauces with them, and they are very, very, what do you call it, very productive. So, very cool pepper. Let me write that up there. Hainan yellow. These are the peppers I used in my One Punch Knockout sauce. Hainan yellow lantern. And I think, do we go? I think this is super hot. I would rate it as a super hot. It's definitely hotter than habaneros and Scotch bonnets. But we'll make it an 8. Not a 10, definitely not as hot as Reapers and 7-pot Primos, but it's definitely up there. So Hainan yellow lantern, and I think probably going to do 3 of those plants. So that goes into super hot. Over there. So let's just put this over here for now. It's got the Marugula, Sugar Rush Long Peach. Again, I'm not a massive fan. I think these sort of ones like the Sugar Rush Peach and that sort of thing are great for powders, but as a raw pepper or using it in a sauce, a little in two minds. So I don't know. We'll see how many I grow. We'll see how many I got at the end. I really need to get through these. Okay. Bequino or Bikino yellow. These are capsicum chenennes, heat level 1. That's quite interesting. Chenennes variety that is not very hot. I don't think I'm going to grow that. I have to be a bit brutal here when I'm going through this. As much as I'd love to grow every single one of these, I have limited space, as I'm sure you guys do as well. This one here, Madre Vieja. My pronunciations are terrible. This here is a capsicum bactum. And heat level of 7. That's a maybe, so we'll put that in a maybe box. Aji or Ahi Yabito. That's interesting. This is a capsicum chenennes, but it's an Ahi. Normally the Ahis are bactums. That's a heat level of 1 as well. Let's put that in a maybe for now. Thai Dragon. Now, I wonder if that... I don't think it's the same as a... No, it's definitely not the same as a Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath are super hot and they are capsicum chenennes. These are capsicum manum, but a heat level of 7 to 8. So this is, I'm guessing it's probably something like a Thai chili, bird's eye. So that's a maybe. So let's put that in a maybe box. What else we got here? Nadi White Bullet. Nada White Bullet. Capsicum chenennes, heat level 9. White chili. Nah, not going to grow that. Oda pepper. So this one, what's nice with the seed packs that you get from Vitali is it has these photos on them, so you actually get an idea of what these look like. And yeah, it just helps you make a decision a bit easier. And it gives you some information there, obviously, what varieties they are and an indication of the heat level. Let me have a look. I'm going to look that up. So, Oda pepper. Might as well just leave Vitali's website up because that's where I'm going to be searching mostly. So, yeah. Says here, an odd variation of a bell pepper which ripens from purple to red with black purple spotches, mild heat, easy to grow, quite fast to ripen. Mild bell pepper. I like the size of it. I think I have enough of the sweet peppers that are in this over here, so I don't think I'm going to grow this one. Let me put that in a maybe for now. Cap 270. So I grew these this year, and they were pretty decent. There was quite a productive plant as well, but I don't think I'm going to grow it again this year. Sugar Rush Long Peach, same as the one that's in this bag over here. I think I'm going to have to grow some of these. So yeah, let's do Sugar Rush Long Peach. I would say this is for taste. let's say, what's that? So it's about a 6 out of 10 on my scale. And let's do one of those. So what have we got here? We've got 49 plants in total. So still got a few we can do. So that is taste, and that goes in there. Let's see, violet sparkle. That's interesting. Okay, that's not coming up anywhere. It's because it's out of stock. It's quite a nice size, and it's a very pretty one. Non-pungent, so it's not going to be too hot. That's quite an interesting looking one. I think we're going to have to grow that for the looks. So it's a violet sparkle, and that is looks 0 on the heat scale, so it's for looks, and I think it's going to be tasting quite sweet. Very sweet taste, yeah. So that'll be interesting for one of my sweets. So I probably could go looks or sweet. Let's do one of those. Looks. Next up, capsicum shenanigans. This is one I haven't heard of before. Come on. Ojos de pescado. Have I made made a lot of your seeds out of stock, Yucca? It's got a yeah, it's out of stock as well. I feel bad. I've taken all your chili seeds. So a very rare variety. Ideal as a bonsai chili. Do I grow them? So this is the hard part, and this is why I don't show this on my shorter video, because I'm sitting here trying to make decisions, and there's a lot of stuff to go through, a lot of research to do as well. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think. If this said it was a good tasting pepper as well, then maybe. Well, it says the rare variety with a tasty aroma. Let's do it. I can always take it off later if I decide not to go with it. But Ojos de pescado. I wonder what that means. I think it's Portuguese or Spanish. And this one will go under rarities. Heat level of that, so again probably around a 6, and we're going to grow one of those. Rarities. Let's see. Let me see any that are catching my eye, because I really don't think you guys want to watch me go through 50 or so varieties here. Aha! Antep Akidoma, thank you. You did that specially for me. Thank you, sir. So Antep. I'll probably put these in with my ones as well and just mark them up separately. Just so I see, we'll see how they come out. I don't think these were crossed, the ones that I saved, but you can never really tell. I might have had some very eager bees that went and pollinated across with another plant. But with the Antep Akidoma, that is going to go definitely in the taste. It's one of the tastiest peppers I've ever had. So taste. and had a little bit of heat, so let's yeah, 3, it's fine. And I think we want to do 4 of those because, yeah, really like them. Okay, I think as much as I'm sure you guys are absolutely enthralled with what I'm doing here, I just, yeah, I can't see you watching this whole thing. I really don't think that it's going to be something you want to watch. So let me get on with this. Let me carry on with these seeds and see what I come up with. And I will see you in just a few minutes, probably, well, it'll be a few seconds for you and it's going to be a couple hours for me because I've got a lot to go through here. So see you in a bit. That's it, I'm pretty much done. We have chosen the plants that I'm going to be growing this year, and we have 100 plants again, same as I did last year. That might be a little bit higher or lower depending on how I set up my polytunnel. I have a few ideas that I'm going to change in the polytunnel this year, so when I get to that, I might have a bit more space or maybe even a little bit less space, but around 100 plants, that's pretty much where we're at. We have 40 varieties, and we're going to go through some of those now. I've increased the number of super hots this year because I don't think I did enough for last year, and I really want to spice things up big time. You guys really want the super hot sauces, and that's where the concentration is going to be. First up is the ChilliChump seed kit. Of course, I'm going to be growing this, and I hope you guys are going to be growing along with me. I hope that you've bought your seed kit already. The good news is, if you haven't yet got your own seed kit, I have 2 to give away. All you need to do is comment in this video down below, just something with the hashtag StaySpicyChilliChump, and you'll be in with a chance to win one of these seed kits, which I'll give away pretty soon because I want to get them out to you guys. So I think I'll do the drawing for that. I'll give it 48 hours after releasing the video, and then I'll do the drawing and send these out to the winner. So those are definitely going to be growing this year, the seed kit. And I'm going to keep that in a special little area where we'll be monitoring the progress of that through the year so you guys can grow along with me and see how yours are progressing. So I separate everything into the different categories: looks, taste, hot, super hot, rarities, sweet, and fillers. Let's go with the looks first. There are a couple interesting ones here. Number 1, penis peppers. This here was sent to me by one of my viewers. Thank you so much. Basically, this grows into an interesting shape, which I'm sure you can figure out is what it's going to be. Then we got the violet sparkle. This here is a very interesting looking pepper, and as its name suggests, it has a bit of a violet sort of tinge to it, and you can see it on the photo here, a little bit of violet and red, but apparently it tastes very good. That's it for the looks. Let's move on to sweet. So I do have obviously a couple sweet peppers in the seed kit. Things like the ancho poblano, it's not really spicy. And actually that's the only one there. The jalapeno is not very spicy, but it's okay. The poblano is quite a nice sweet pepper as well. So that's one of the sweets, but we have a couple others in here, and that is the sweet apple cambi or cambe. This here is a very interesting looking pepper, quite large, it fits in the palm of your hand pretty much, and quite fleshy, so that'll be very cool to use in a sauce, maybe mix it in with a super hot. And this here, bendigo, again, another very interesting looking pepper, very fleshy, and the flavor apparently is amazing. Only the 2 sweets this year. I'll see, I might have a couple others that I can find that I might add in here, but for now, we'll just stick with those 2. Let's move on to taste. So in the taste area, if the primary feature of the pepper is how good it tastes, then it goes in here. Things like lemon drop. So we obviously are going to grow some lemon drop again this year. I really enjoyed those this year, or last year actually. And really tasty pepper. Very spicy, but very tasty. We have the Muntafar or Montufar. This one here, I love the capsicum pubescens seeds. They're all black like that. So had to grow a couple of those, and this one here looked like a very interesting one to grow. Very nice colors, this sort of purple red, and it's quite a big pepper as well. And according to Fatali, it tastes really good. Had to go with this one, of course, Erotica. It's another capsicum baccatum. There's quite a few Bactums actually in this box. The Bactums are a very tasty family of peppers. The reason I chose it is not because of the name, it's because the pepper, it just looks really cool. And I'm interested to see how that comes out instead of a smooth one like this one here, the blended yellow lemon, or blended lemon yellow. It's a very smooth pepper, same as the lemon drop. The Bactums tend to be quite a smooth one, but this erotica looks very interesting. So that one there, blended lemon. The blended lemon, this one here is pretty much the same as the lemon drop, and it's just a little bit less spicy, I think, than the lemon drop, and it's quite a bit bigger, it looks like, unless that's just a really small hand that's on that picture over there. The Agiaro, this here, it's a little smaller than the Ricotto, and apparently it's a little bit tastier. And again, it's got these lovely black seeds, and that's from the Capsicum pubescens. These are the plants that have pretty much a furry kind of feel to the leaves as well as the stems, and very interesting one to grow. If you aren't growing any of those, I would recommend at least one or two. This one here is an interesting one. So this is, again, my pronunciation might not be perfect, but Buna Mulata. And this one here is sweet and spicy, very similar to a cayenne, but probably a little bit better tasting according to Fatali. So I'm interested to see how those turn out. They do look nice as well, a deep red, almost purple sort of color as well. Of course, we're going to grow our Antep Akidama. These are some that Fatalia sent me, some seeds, but I also have some that I kept over from last year. Sugar Rush Long Peach. The Sugar Rush chilies are really nice. Again, another Bactum. It's quite a spicy one, but very sweet, very tasty, and quite prolific. Serrano. This is one I've never grown before. It's a very popular and common pepper in the US. I know a lot of people grow them and swear by them. These are ones I actually bought from pepperseeds.eu. I thought they were going to be a lot spicier. The way that some people talk about them on forums and that is that they have quite a bit of spice, but I think that's when you compare it to maybe a jalapeno or something like that. But not very spicy, but I'm interested to see how that turns out and see what sort of flavor that gives me. These ones here were sent to me by one of my viewers. Thank you very much. And I'm going to give them a try. Just going to grow one plant of them because, well, like the comment says, they're untried. But I'm going to give that a go. It's meant to be a cross between Tabasco and a cayenne, so could be interesting. Always worth giving it a go. I'm not normally a fan of unstable varieties. I prefer to have my chilies quite stable so I know what I'm getting, but I don't mind trying a couple that are unstable. So those are the ones for taste. So we'll put that aside. Okay, rarities. Okay, let me go straight to the money shot here. This here is the Capsicum Galapagoense. Now I tried to grow these last year, and I think I have two, so there's another pack of them over there. So I tried to grow these last year, and they were not successful. I tried twice to germinate, they just wouldn't. They're quite a rare chili, actually a very rare chili from the Galapagos Islands, and yeah, I really want to get them to germinate. So I'm going to try again this year, and wish me luck. We'll keep an eye on it and see how we do. But those are definitely going in. And we have another very rare one apparently, which is, I think this one here. Again, I'm not pronouncing this right, I know that. The Ojos or Hoyos de Pescado, and it's very small, almost like or smaller than a cherry, the actual peppers themselves. And they are pretty spicy as well, very, very rare. So I'm going to try and get those to germinate too. And then these ones here, I think these have a reputation as being some of the most rare chilies that are out there, which is the Capsicum Tovari. I think I got some last year. I'm not sure how I did with them. I don't think I managed to get them to germinate, or I don't actually think I tried to germinate them, but I'm going to try and give them a go this year. You can see just how small that chili is. Be interesting to try and grow it. It's nice for a bit of a challenge to try and grow these sort of things. It's not necessarily going to make a hot sauce or anything, but that's not all that growing chilies is about, not just about the hot sauces. Let's have a look at the hots. So these are peppers around about the temperature of a Scotch bonnet or habanero, but they are nicely spicy, and I'm growing them because they're hot, and obviously it'd be nice if they also taste good too. So the first one there is the Ricotta Manzano Alanta Rojo. So you can see that over there. And that there's a capsicum pubescens, again, these black seeds, a very spicy pepper, but also apparently very, very tasty. We have this here, there's another one of the seeds that I actually bought this year from pepperseeds.eu. This is the dattel or datel seeds, and these here, if I did make a note here, these I bought, they're very popular in the US. I think they're grown down in Florida, and there's apparently a source down there that people rave about, and a few of my viewers have been telling me I really need to grow some of these. So I'm going to be growing some datels. I'm going to be told how I'm saying that wrong, but yeah, we're going to grow some of those. Over here we have our MOA Scotch bonnets. These are the yellow ones, and these are my own that I isolated last year. So I have quite a few of those, and definitely want to grow them on again this year. They are just a real classic chili. And the MOA, this is Ministry of Agriculture. These here, it's good to keep growing them on because they are kind of an heirloom. They're just a nice stable variety and really, really tasty. And the last one here is Harold St. Bart's. This is just, it's a hot one. This probably should go in the super hots. It's rated a 9 to 10 by Fatali in terms of heat. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hot one, but I put it in the hot instead of super hots because we've got quite a few in the super hots, and we'll get to those in just a second. There we go, that's the hots, and we've got two categories left. Firstly, we'll do the staples. So these are ones that I grow every year. They're just some of my favorites. And of course, the first one in there is going to be my isolated peri peri. I don't have a lot of seeds left because I've been giving them out to my Patreons. If you sign up on the seed tier, I have one pack to go actually. Wait, no, I don't have any packs to go because the last one was taken by a Patreon that signed up this week. So I will be stocking up a lot more with these seeds for next year, the next cycle of the seed giveaway for patrons. But I have enough here to grow on my peri peri this year and get quite a few. And I'm growing about, I think it's 8 or 10 plants of my peri peri. I want to grow quite a bit because the sauces I make, as well as obviously wanting to keep some seeds. So that's peri peri. Then we have my cayenne isolated. Now I have cayenne inside here as well. So the way I'm kind of going to do it this year is I will be sectioning these off in an area so that when I do an update, you'll be able to see all of these in one specific area. It helps you just, keep an eye on what's going on rather than looking in different places in the greenhouse and the polytunnel. So this is going to be all in one area. But I'm also going to be growing quite a few of these cayenne plants because obviously one of my favorite sauces, and apparently yours as well, because you guys are buying a lot of it, is my Blazing Buffalo Extreme. So I'm going to be growing a lot more cayenne this year so that I can keep up with the demand. And then the last one inside the staples is my pepper dew. And again, it's another very tasty pepper, and I just keep growing it on each year. It's very sweet, very spicy, and great for stuffing, and well, it's great for sauces and a bunch of other things. Actually really good as a dry spice. And then lastly, we have my super hots. Now I said I'm growing quite a few more super hots this year. I have put aside 36 plants for my super hots. And the first one here is this, which is the Reaper X. Now I'm going to keep my judgment aside until the end of the season, till we actually see what this grows into. This is an unstable variety. It comes from the littlechillishop.com, and it wasn't sent to me by them. It was actually sent to me by Welsh Chili, who sent me these seeds as well, but we'll talk about that in a sec. They are meant to be, I think, the Pepper X, but for certain reasons, you're not allowed to call it that. So we'll see what this turns out like at the end of the season, and it's going to be at least a very interesting checking out chilies with ChilliChump episode when I try it. So we'll see what that's like. I'm going to grow, I think, 1 or 2 plants of those. We then have these here, which like I just said, was sent to me by welshchilli.com. Thank you very much. And these are Dragon's Breath. These have been in the press for a couple of years now, that they are meant to be the hottest peppers in the world. And it's a really nice little packet there. But I'm going to be growing a few of these, and we'll see how those turn out. Again, another interesting episode. Actually, all of these are going to be making very interesting checking out chilies episodes. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to see me in pain at the end of the season. Over here we have a yucky blue fawn. So again, there's a few varieties in here I've never heard of before. This is one of them. I think I did make a note here. It's a very, very hot pepper. I think probably around a butcholokia sort of level. So very hot, probably around the million on the Scoville scale, but we'll see at the end of the season. But the main reason is it's a very pretty one. It's got a bit of blue in it, purple, bit of red, and changes colors through the season. So that'll be an interesting one to check on throughout the season. Good old Naga Marek. That's a classic, seriously hot chili. Definitely a super hot without a doubt. Even if you happen to get a mild one of these, it's still going to blow your head off. We also have a couple other classics here. We have the Marugula. I grew these last year. This is even hotter than the Naga Marek. This is potentially one of the hottest chilies I have here, except for one that's down the bottom. We'll see. That might be a little hotter. But there's the Marugula, and we have another classic there, the Maruga Scorpion. Again, stupidly hot. And this one here, the Maruga Chocolate Scorpion. I think it's a scorpion as well, but there's a chocolate version. That's the red version. And we'll be growing those two. Here we have one of the classics from 2019 that I grew, the Hainan Yellow Lantern. Very, very hot pepper, but it made a delicious hot sauce if you were lucky enough to get hold of a bottle of my One Punch Knockout. This is the chili that I used, but very prolific chili, grows loads and loads of pods, and definitely want to grow again this year. I've got 2 bags of them, so maybe a giveaway at some point, we'll see. But those are great. Purple butcholokia, just for a bit of variety, just your good old butcholokia, very hot pepper. This here, I don't know why I haven't grown these again since I did them. I think it was 2017, but they've got to be one of my favorite chilies, the 7-pot Primo. And it's just a real classic when it comes to super hots. The 7-pot Primo though is a seriously fantastically hot pepper, and it also tastes really good, makes a really good hot sauce. So I made one in 2017 that I still have a little bit of in my fridge because it's that hot, but it is that tasty. So I'll be definitely growing quite a few plants of these again in 2020, and we'll be making some very, very hot sauce that I can actually sell to you guys. Because back in 2017, I wasn't selling my sauces, I was making it for myself. But that's one of the reasons I'm growing a lot more of these super hots, because that seems to be what you guys want. You guys want to eat the sauce that I make with these super hots. So you got to meet demand, I guess. And you also want to see me in pain when I try them on my Checking Out Chilies series. I'm sure you'll agree there are some fantastic varieties that I've chosen. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the season turns out. We've got a lot of new seeds, new varieties that I've never grown before, as well as some old favorites. So there's a little bit of something for everyone. There's a lot of super hots. I'm a little bit cautious about that one, but it'll be fun to do my Checking Out Chilies episodes with some of those real hot ones a little bit later on in the season. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know I will be starting my seeds probably the second Saturday or Sunday of February. So today is Sunday, the 2nd of February. It'll be next Saturday or next Sunday I'll be starting them. So if you are growing along with your ChilliChump seed pack, then at least you know when I'm starting mine. But I'll put out an episode as well when I do that, so that you guys can really follow along with what I'm doing. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. And until then, stay spicy.